From a $176 million payday to Serbian giants roaming Los Angeles, do the Clippers even need Kawhi Leonard? Kawhi Leonard is an NBA superstar. He's won 2 NBA championships, winning the Finals MVP awards both times. He's a 5-time All-Star, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, has been named to the NBA's All-Defensive Team 7 times, the All-NBA Team 5 times, and made All-Rookie Team during the 2011 to 2012 season. When he hit the free agent market in 2019, he was the most sought-after player in the league. Every team looking for a final piece to win a championship was trying to get Kawhi to sign with them. But $176 million convinced him he was playing in Los Angeles. Since his arrival, the Clippers have won 110 games and lost only 51 when he's in the lineup. Without him, the Clippers have won 30 games and lost 35. This season, they have a star-studded lineup with fellow superstars Paul George, Russell Westbrook, and John Wall. But they finished the season with a 44-38 record, only good enough to secure them the number 5 seed in the Western Conference. Kawhi missed 30 games, and the Clippers lost 19 of them, even with fellow small forward Paul George picking up the slack, averaging over 26 points per game with Kawhi out of the lineup. George averaged under 23 points per game with Leonard in the lineup, so he was able to do his part, as was Russell Westbrook. Westbrook only played in 21 regular season games in 2023, missing 61 due to injury. But his splits with and without Leonard in the lineup were dramatic. When Leonard played, Westbrook averaged 14.2 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 7.3 assists. Without Kawhi, Westbrook upped his production greatly, averaging 25.7 points and 9.7 assists. But even with George and Westbrook stepping up their game in Kawhi's absence, it wasn't equating to wins. Not only that, but the team had more success without Westbrook in the lineup with Kawhi. In the 18 games Leonard and Westbrook played together, the Clippers went 10-8. Not impressive. When Kawhi played without Westbrook, the Clippers won 23 of 34 games. A ringing endorsement for Leonard, a bad look for Westbrook. So, what about Paul George? Did his presence on the court equate to more wins with Kawhi? Yes, it did. When the two were on the court together, the team went 24-14, a very reasonable record. In the 26 games that George missed, the Clippers lost 14 of them. And in the 56 games he suited up for, the team went 32-24. In games without Leonard and George, the Clippers went 2-9. And their wins were against the Indiana Pacers and Portland Trail Blazers. It seems pretty clear that in terms of the Big Three, George was more important to the team than Westbrook, but not as important as Kawhi Leonard. Luckily for the Clippers, they have yet another superstar to lean on, the sometimes forgotten man, John Wall. John isn't the player he once was, but he's been productive in limited minutes, averaging 11.4 points per game, 2.7 rebounds, and 5.2 assists. Those are good numbers for a guy only getting 22 minutes of playing time, and he has high games of 26 and 23 points in only 25 minutes of work. But the team couldn't rely on John to lead them to victory, however, because of the 34 games he played, they were a disappointing 15-19, and they went 29-19 without him. It's becoming clearer that the team depends on Leonard more than anyone else, and he knows it. Back in January, Coach Tyronn Lue benched him and other starters in a blowout loss. And though he rarely ever makes controversial statements, he had no problem telling everyone how he felt about it, saying, I mean, obviously nobody wants to lose by that amount of points. You want to get it back, pretty much. You want to get back out there on the floor and do what you can to either get a win or even get the same night rather than sit and watch. Just coming from me. I feel like these are the times where we need to be in there and dig ourselves out of those holes and learn what we're doing, instead of flipping the page and going to the next game. But yeah, that's just from my perspective. When you're paid to be the man, you're allowed to speak like the man. And Kawhi knew it. It was their 4th loss in a row, and they lost 2 more games before snapping the 6-game losing streak against the Dallas Mavericks. Kawhi put the team on his back, scoring 33 points on only 12 field goal attempts, and sinking 3 of his 5 three-point shots. He was helping all over the court, grabbing 9 rebounds, dishing out 4 assists, collecting 4 steals, a blocked shot, and only turning the ball over twice. They turned it around and finished the month of January with an 8-8 record because of Leonard's play, and finished the season on a better note, going 8-6 in March and 3-1 in April to close out the regular season. Now, they look to close out the postseason with their first NBA title, and they can certainly get it done with the talent they have, as long as 2 things happen. Their stars stay healthy, and they find the proper formula on the court. We've already discussed the issues they've had with Kawhi and Westbrook playing together, and that's clearly a product of the offensive formula used by the coaching staff. It certainly isn't the talent. Head coach Tyronn Lue has to figure out the right player rotations, personnel matchups, and most importantly, whether they need to play with a traditional point guard. There's only one ball to go around, and the biggest issue with Kawhi and Westbrook is that they both want the ball. So something has to give. And it won't matter how well Kawhi, Westbrook, George, or John Wall play individually. At this year's All-Star game, Russell Westbrook was asked what it meant to him to be a Clipper. And he commented, "I've been in this league a long time, and being somewhere that people want you and embrace you, that means a lot to me." If he can't find a way to make his teammates better, and most importantly, let Kawhi lead, he may not be embraced too much longer in Los Angeles. But if they start Terrence Mann at point guard and leave Westbrook on the bench, maybe that'll allow Leonard to get into a flow, and Westbrook can come off the bench when a positive game flow has already been established. That seems like the best way to deal with the situation. Since Mann is a veteran who's capable of playing as many minutes as he's needed, and he's a more than capable defender, they don't need him to score necessarily. He just needs to feed into the team chemistry. However, Coach Lue seems to be locked into playing 3 and sometimes 4 guard lineups. That can't defend anybody. And that leads to the next issue. Can they win with a smaller lineup? They've run into issues all season playing too small. So the trio of Mason Plumlee, Moses Brown, and Ivica Zubac will have to play a bigger role. Zubac was the most effective big man on their roster, earning 28 minutes of playing time a night, with Plumlee playing just under 20 minutes, and Moses Brown averaging under 9. They'll all need to split time to stay fresh, because there are dominant centers in the Western Conference, and if the Clippers coaches choose to play small, they could be in for real trouble. Sacramento Kings center Domantas Sabonis is a big man that has punished the Clippers. Sabonis averaged 19.5 points, 8.8 rebounds, and 6.0 assists in 4 games against the Clippers, and has had at least 20 points in the last 3 matchups. As impressive as that is, Denver's Serbian giant, Nikola Jokic, is much more impressive. He's the 2-time reigning league MVP, and a favorite to win a 3rd consecutive, something that hasn't been done since Larry Bird in the mid-1980s. Jokic is as good as it gets, and he plays the position that exposes the Clippers, and he's already given them a taste of it. On February 26th, he scored 40 points against the Clippers and added 17 rebounds, 10 assists, and 3 steals. So, from Serbian giants roaming Los Angeles to a $176 million payday, do the Clippers even need Kawhi Leonard?